Page 15 contains the same skills as page 14, just in a worded context. Okay, this first one is a non-calculator question, so we can't use a multiplier method, or we might be able to if you're good at multipliers in your head, but probably best to just stick with nice easy percentage chunks. A TV normally costs £520, but in a sale all prices are reduced by 10% to calculate a sale price. So they want us to reduce this by 10%. If this were a multiplier calculator method, I would just find 90% of this, but it isn't. So 10% is 1/10, or the number divided by 10, so that would be £52, and I need to take this off £520. Okay, can't do 0 take away 2, so I'm going to borrow, or take from the 2 I should say. 10 minus 2 is 8. I then need to take 1 from the hundreds and put it there, so I've got 11 minus 5, which is 6, and 4 goes there. So the sale price of this TV is £468. Over the past 10 years, the population of a town has increased by 25%. The population of the town 10 years ago was 18,000. What is it now? So it wants us to increase this number by 25%. Could use nice easy chunks like 10%, but 25% itself is a nice easy chunk. That's a quarter. So I just need to find a quarter of this and then add it back on. So I know half of 18,000, or 50%, would be 9,000. So 25% is half of that again, 4,500. And I'm going to add that back on to 18,000. And that gives me 22,500. Standard bag of flour, it's going to be an F, contains 600 grams of flour. A special edition bag contains 35% more flour. How much flour is in the special edition bag? So they want to increase this by 35%. 25% would be a quarter of 600, so 150 grams. 10% would be a tenth of it, so 60 grams. So therefore 35% is 210 grams if I add those two together. And when I add that onto 600, I get 810 grams. Richard owns a coffee shop. In February, 4,500 hot chocolates were sold. The number of hot chocolates sold in March was 3% less. So decrease this by 3%, basically. Okay, 1% is what you get when you divide the number by 100, so that would give me 45 hot chocolates. So 3% is 3 lots of that. 3 lots of 40 would be 120. 3 lots of 5 would be 15. So this is 135 hot chocolates. And I need to take that away from 4,500. Okay, I'm going to need to take from the 5 here, it becomes a 4, and take from the 10. 10 take away 5 is 5, 9 take away 3 is 6, 4 take away 1 is 3. So I've got 4,365 sold in March. Right, on to the calculator ones now, so we can use our multiplier method. Gabriel's salary is 24,500. Next year he's due to get a 9% increase. So to increase something by 9%, I would add 9% to 100%, which would give me 109%. That, as a decimal, is 1.09. So I'm going to times that by the amount to increase it by 9%. $26,705. Okay. Iris spends £40 a month on water. By changing company, Iris can save 16%. So take 16% off this. If I take 16% away from 100%, that would leave me with 84%. And 84% as a decimal is 0.84. So I'm going to use that as my multiplier. 33.6. Well, because this is money, £33.60 in this case. An empty flower pot has a mass of 800 grams. The mass of the flower pot increases to 4 kilograms when filled with soil. So, I'm going to come to the second bit of this question in a minute, but what that means is that 3.2 kilograms, or 3,200 grams, must be soil. Oops. Go away. A different flower pot is 25% lighter. Okay, so 25% lighter than this. That's a quarter lighter. A quarter of that is 200 grams. So this other pot weighs 600 grams. Oops. But holds 40% more soil, so 40% more than this. Okay, so we'll just call this pot B. Its mass is 600 grams. To increase this by 40%, I'm going to times by 1.4. And 4,480. So altogether, this one will weigh 5,080 grams when full. Number 13, an adult ticket costs £13.40 for the cinema. Child ticket's half the price, so half of that would be £6.70. Mr. and Mrs. Henderson and their 6 children go to see a movie, and they've got a voucher for 18% off. So that's 2 adults and 6 children. So 2 lots of £13.40 plus 6 lots of £6.70. Thankfully, this is a calculator question. The price would have come to £67, but Mrs. Henderson has a voucher for 18% off, so I need to decrease this by 18%. You can either do that for the price of each ticket and then add it all together, or you could just do it to the total. Much quicker just to do it to the total. So if I want to decrease it by 18%, that would leave 82%. So I want to times 0.82 by 67, and that will give me the answer. £54.94. And the last one, when a tennis ball is dropped, it bounces, then rises. The ball rises to 80% of the height from which it was dropped. The ball is dropped from a height of 4 meters. Calculate the height of the rise after the first bounce. So, in other words, it will rise to 80% of 4 meters. So 0.8 would tell me what 80% is, times 4. That will give me 3.2 meters. No need to use a calculator there, just doing 8 times 4, 32, and dividing by 10. The height after the second bounce, I need to do 0.8 times 3.2. So I'm going to use a calculator for this one. So it will rise to 2.56 meters. For how many bounces does the ball rise to a height greater than 10 centimeters? So bear in mind that's in centimeters, that's 0.1 of a meter. Okay, the easiest way to do this is to set up your calculator to just do things recursively, just so you can just keep pressing equals and it will just carry on using it. So if I type in 4 and press equals, the calculator will remember that the previous answer is 4 now. Okay, and if I press times 0.8, it has now replaced that 4 with these 3 letters A and S, answer. Okay, so that's the previous answer that's going to be timesing by 0.8. Press equals, I can see I get 3.2. Now that was just exactly what I did to work out the first question. But when I press equals again, it will now use 3.2 as the previous answer. So that should give me 2.56. So that's twice that the ball has bounced. 3 times, I'm just going to press equals again. Okay, 4 times, I'm waiting until this is less than 0.1. 5 times, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 times. So 16 bounces are greater than 0.1 meters height.